Hello, LA. How y'all doing? It's Thursday, March 18th. Back out in the garage messing around. We've been out here the last day or two, but haven't done any video because the computer's been down. I opened what looked like an official eBay an email notice that my account had been suspended for suspension of payment or something, and I knew that was bunk. I opened the email. I didn't click on anything in the email, but I did open it and saw the reason why. Of course, it wanted me to follow a path, click on the button below to resolve the issue. Big Daddy's smarter than that, right? I went ahead and opened another window, went over to eBay, checked out everything was fine. Well, once I scrolled through my previous purchases, I get down and I see a couple of things I had looked at, window shopping, stickers for the wheels on my bike, just window shopping. And once I scrolled down and it said refused payments or refunded payments or something, as soon as they came into the screen, everything locked up and it was all over from there. So moving on to what we got going today, messing around a little bit. I told you in that last video I was going to go ahead and make new mini rotors. So what we did is we called Paul Martin and we talked to Brad. Appreciate it, Brad. What's up? He couldn't believe it. These little 4-inch rotors were completely ventilated. I mean, these vents go all the way down to these holes here. Crazy little rotor. But what we got, we called Brad to find out what kind of material they use to make their Paul Martin rotors, which is one of these right here. That's a Paul Martin rotor right there. He says, we Blanchard grind and we do the laser cutting and stuff. You're gonna take it to a laser place? I said, no, man, come on, I'm Big Daddy. We do it right here all by hand. So what we did is we went and got the right material. It's I think it's called HRPO, hot rolled pickle and oiled or something. Oiled, something like that, pickled and oiled. HPO, low carbon, so it'll wear good. And what we're going to do is, as you can see, we clamped them down with the clamps here, one on either side. Got in there with the transfer punch and transferred the holes. Took it over to the drill press. Boom, boom, boom. Just drilled right through. On this one here, and I tried it on both hubs. This one, all 6 bolts go in. This one, I could only get 4. These 2 will go, but they don't, everything's got to be loose. And so, what we'll do is we'll just take a little needle file and we'll probably just clean them up a little bit, these 2, and we'll be good to go. They're not off by much. So then before we unclamped them, we scribed them out real good. Wanted to make sure that the holes were right first before we started scribing things, because this inside dimension is actually slightly bigger than the bearing pocket, right? So the bearing could be removed and installed with the rotor still on. We don't really need that option. If we're going to replace a bearing, we're going to take it off. We could take the bolts out. It's not that big a deal. So we may just leave this inside dimension a little small, just a little bit smaller diameter hole to give us a little extra beef here, especially if we need to do a little fudging to get it all to fit, right? So there we go. We're well on our way to getting us new rotors. Well, what about the run out, Robert? What about this? Listen, we got mini lathe over here, right? What we'll do is we'll bolt these discs when we get them rough cut out and everything. We'll bolt them right to the hub. We'll put a piece of 5/8 stock in the lathe, and we'll lock the thing down. We're not going to run the lathe. What we're going to do is spin the hub, just like it's going to spin on the stub axle. We'll spin the hub and rotor on a fixed 5/8 shaft on the lathe, and use just to make sure we're not going to have any run or very little run out. To be completely honest, you'll see run out in these Paul Martin rotors too. Sorry, Brad, but you can't, everything can't be exactly perfect either. The axle could be a little out of dimension, which means there will be a little slot between the hub and the axle. When you clamp it down, it's not going to clamp down symmetrically, evenly all the way around. It could pull one way or the other. you get a little rock and roll out of it, and you're gonna get a little run out too. We've actually found some of our front rotors a little out of whack. We'd spin them right on the cart and put a little sharp pointed Sharpie on it and get a nice little mark so we can see where it's too big, and we literally grind them down, sand it on a sander, just sand them around, put it back on, spin it again. You can't see it, looks good, right? Let's be honest, you put a wheel off the track, not with these little ones. I mean, you'd have to hit an awfully high curb to whack a 4-inch rotor on this car. You're really going to hurt the chassis before you hurt these rotors. But with anything else, the 6 3/4, 7, 7 1/4, 7 1/2, 7 3/4. We got jumbo rotors on the front of our car. All it takes is you put a tire off, and those rotors hit the curbing or get off the edge of the asphalt of the surface of the track, and they'll get a ding. They'll get beat up, and it happens. So they're going to get beat up. They're going to get a little out around. We're not sending a spacecraft to Pluto, man. We're going around a racetrack in a go-kart, for God's sake. So you want it as right as you can get it, obviously. But we're not going to split atoms here, you know? Certainly not by hand. And I'm telling you, even some of this machine stuff, like I said, is visibly out of whack. Some of the wheels we've bought, guys, brand new wheels. Machined wheel, welded together, everything automated on machinery, right? And even the ones that are supposed to be Q plus or roll up, you buy a regular $38, $36, $38, $42 wheel, and there's all kinds of run out to those things. But this car is going to go 100 miles an hour. The old vintage car easily be able to do 100, I think. It's like anything else, man. You know, at 60, 70, maybe you feel a vibration. At 100, everything is just going to smooth right out. So that's it. We're working on rotors today, just messing around. We shot a little clear coat in here. We put some base black paint on Mike Tracy's wing there. And got it, fixed it all up, primed it up, got it's all glued back together. She's ready to go. She's just going to hang there and dry up. It's certainly not a car show, SEMA show piece by any means, but he dropped another go-kart on it, for God's sake. You know what I mean? It got busted up. He's got a complete wing assembly, all new. The uprights, the wing element, and everything. This will probably just be a crash spare. So I'm not going to go 10/10ths on it. Sorry, Mike, but that's what you get for free. I'm not charging them, so, we glued 2 wings together, and we rebuilt this one here and put some color on it for free. Not a bad gig. I mean, RPM's not a bleeding heart, but, that's how it is, folks. So, back to the brakes. We'll get this stuff fixed up. We're looking at probably 3 to 5 weeks now to get the new pads for the front calipers and stuff, but this isn't going to take long at all to get this to get these bad boys ready to rock and roll. So we may even mock this gouge here this little wiper that they put in here. We may try to mark that in the 3 different spots, around here, and maybe we do like they did here with these little holes. Maybe we'll just put a couple of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 little holes like this right in there, just to make sure that whatever's going on there gets wiped away, gets cleaned away. I'd rather do that than try to, put a saw cut or something across the surface of the braking surface of the rotor. So that's it. That's where we're at. Messing around out here in the garage. We're about done for today. We'll go in and load you up. See how the new operating system likes you. Hang in there, folks. 2 more weeks, a little more over 2 weeks to test day. Tracks, grounds are looking good. They'll get out there and blow the place down for us real good with the tractors and the blowers and get all the debris off. We're the first ones out there for the year. So we're looking forward to it. Shifter cart will be ready to go. I already got the front end back together over there. Messing around. I went to go put the new gauge on, and it reads 10 degrees hotter than the other one, the one I'm taking off. So I know it's just a calibration issue. I got a third gauge. I think I'm going to go check that one and see what that does temperature-wise. And, although we're just looking for a solid, steady number that doesn't go up and down when we get on and off the gas, I don't want to have to tear it all back off again because, I want to send it in and have it recalibrated. This one had just come from Micron before it went in a box for about 6 years. There's no way it got out of calibration, so I'd like to send it back and get it right if we're going to try to use it. But we'll see. We'll bring you some more of that over the weekend here. We'll be over Rich's wrapping up the shifter cart, getting it done. Maybe even get it stuffed in the trailer and get a head start on getting everything ready to go in 2 weeks out to Grattan. So that's it. Hang in there, folks. We're playing around, making our own brake rotors, man. Right here at RPM Incorporated at the world headquarters on Ivanhoe in Roseville. Racing Roseville, that is. Love y'all. Hang in there. We're praying for you.